Hey, Bart Herbison, I've often said I wish we filmed the stuff before we, started the camera on Story Behind the Song. Today, my friend Marty Brown.
Good to be here, Bart.
I guess we were really talking the song, I'm from the country and I like it that way. Sure. Is that the official title, by the way? It's listed different ways.
I tell you, you bringing up that song right there, that song was a gift from God from me. I originally wrote it, I remember on that, how I come up with the idea for that, back when I was making records in the 90s.
Right.
Well, I was so excited that I made the Rolling Stone magazine.
Mm-hmm.
They did a review of my first album, High and Dry. And
did you buy everybody that you graduated with?
I bought about 25 copies.
I would have too, man.
Making a Rolling Stone, that's
on.
every entertainer's dream.
It is.
And, so I bought about 25 copies, and I took them to Mama's house, and I remember I give them all out, and we turned to the page, and there I was in that red shirt, 24 years old, looking sharp, and so I read the review that they did on me, and glowing reports, had 5-star rating on it, but at the every end of the article it said, but he's too country for country. And I told my mom, I said, what's wrong with that? What is that? I said, I'm from the country and I like it that way, Mama.
Wow.
So that's how that song come out.
Cash registers. Did you hear them ring? So that's the story behind the song this week, by the way, for the Tennessean and Tennessean.com. I'm from the country. I got to tell you, the first time I heard it, I'll never forget this. So I've said this in these interviews before. I call it a car wreck song, because I'm not paying attention to my drive, and I reached over and jacked that thing up, and man. But you know what I said to myself the very first time I ever heard it?
What?
That's going to be in a lot of commercials. And it was.
Wow, you was in a lot of commercials. Let me tell you, thank God for it. I really, really do. And like I said, got to give credit. After I come up with the idea, and I got the groove going, and I started singing it, my buddy Richard Young of the Kentucky
Headhunters, which, by the way, their career launched by Harold Shedd right here in the music.
That's exactly, yeah. Well, me and him became buddies and stuff like that, and we back in the 90s, and I called him on his phone. I said, Richard, I got one, stuff like that. And
I would have been tempted not to bring anybody in on that. 'Cause, man, you had to know from that first
Well, I did, but I was
young.
Yeah. I was young, and I liked Richard, and when I called him, this is Richard. Well, Marty, I'm in the tub, but come on over to that practice house and meet me over at the practice house. So I did, and boom, we wrote the song. It took me 4 years to get it recorded.
Stan Webb was involved in it too?
Stan Webb was involved in it. He was there, and we hauled through it, and we had a great time. It was just it was three guys, having fun. But back then, I hadn't really had that hit.
Right.
But I knew I was going to get it, and
did you know that was it? I mean,
I really did.
I ask this question a lot, and sometimes I'm surprised people say no. You had to know this was something.
I did.
Special.
Well, originally, I tried to do it. I come up with said that to my mama. I'm from the country. I was frustrated because I had that glowing report in the Rolling Stone, but then at the end of it, they said I was too country. I've been dealing with that all my life, and so even when I was trying to get on the radio, they said I was too country. So I'm like, well. So that was my God's way, putting that in my brain to come to. I said it out of frustration.
Yeah,
and it was a statement. And but I got back at radio anyway because I went all the way up the top of the charts with it. It was and I'd like to thank Tracy Byrd for recording it.
Yeah.
I remember Tony Brown produced it, and he was my producer. How I got the song cut, I was living up in Kentucky, and I knew it was a hit. And so I carried it around for about 4 years with me, and I needed some money. I was, and so I walked up into Tony Brown's office. I drove down here, and I said, "Tony, the weeds is high, might have made a patch." I literally, that's what I told him.
And you got to be from the country, and I'm going to pick that up in 1 second. That's what we were talking about earlier before we started this. We were talking about throwing the dirt clods and the cornfields, and you got to be from there, man. But
Well, really,
so how did Tony
I
respond?
really think you do.
Yeah, what did Tony say?
He told me to sit my butt down. 'Cause he knew I was there for a reason. Because he signed me as an artist.
Yeah.
And he was always in my corner waving my flag. And actually on that song, I just knew it was a hit. I tried it different ways before I called Richard and wrote it at the practice out with him. I tried to change it. I was writing for Bug Music at the time.
Right.
And so I tried to write it, I'm from Kentucky, and I like it that way.
Well, somebody recorded that version. Was it you?
No, what happened was...
It's out there.
What happened was that so I started messing
Yeah,
around
yeah.
with it, and I thought, well, I got to make it a little more universal, I was like, so I changed it to I'm from the country back to what I originally
Yeah.
said, because then I was just up in Kentucky. Well, it come out and it became a hit, and then it went to top of the charts, and then next thing I know, UK Wildcats the cheerleaders had done it without on their own. They just did it on their
That's
own.
what
And they picked it up and they made a cheer. And every time they would score a basketball goal or a touchdown, they go, "We're from Kentucky and we like it that way." And they throw up hands up in the air. I was like, and so I remember I called my publisher up and I told him, I said, it was Dave DeRocher over at Bug Music. I said, "See, I told you it's supposed to be that way, in a sharp way." He said, "Well, we make more money when I'm from the country." I said, "That's exactly right."
Now, did you have a record deal when Tracy cut it?
No, no. I went back to...
Because I thought you did. I was always wondering why you didn't record it.
Well, I was in between.
Yeah,
I was in between record deals at the time. I had lost my deal.
But you thought about it.
I had lost my deal with MCA Records, sure. I mean, I knew it was... I'd carry... I remember... I got it recorded. It had come out, and then UK basketball cheerleaders, they picked up on it. And then it became a life of its own. I remember where we demoed it at. I remember when we demoed it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Because when you hear the record, when you hear Tracy's record, it's exactly like the demo.
Where did you demo
Note
it?
for note. I mean, it's got that, I come up that intro. The intro for it. Well, we demoed it. I knew I had a hit. Because I never wanted to demo on them unless I knew that you don't put money on a losing horse.
Yeah.
I put the money on the winning one. And we recorded the demo at County Q.
County Q. Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah.
And had JT Cornfloss was playing the electric guitar. I was playing acoustic and singing. And I'm trying to, what's his name? I think it was not Stuart Duncan on the fiddle, but the other one. He was real popular right then. He played on Reba's records. Well, he played the fiddle on it, and we had a lot of fun recording it. It was great. And then for the party crowd, I called on my mama. On the demo, the party crowd's got my mama, my brothers, all of my cousins and stuff.
They're
come down.
on the record. That's them.
Wow. Well, they're on the demo, which was a record that became the record that got built. But it was exactly like it. So, but it was so funny because I had got them out around the mic over there at County Q, and we were having a great time. And I'm from the country, and my brother, if you can listen to the demo on it. He hollers out, "Rock and roll!" I said, "Mike, I'm trying to sell a country song." He said, "You can think that's country all you want to, Marty, but that's rock."
Hey, country boys listen to rock and roll.
That's right, I did.
So I did too.
I remember I come up listening to my mama and my daddy play and sing around the house, and I heard all the classic stuff that they sang for years.
Yeah.
Until my brother Till I was a teenager, my brother got a silver Camaro, and I didn't have to ride the yellow school bus. Yeah. I rode with him to school, and he turned me on to Molly Hatchet, Tom Petty, Ozark Mountain Daredevil.
Yeah.
I'm going back. Bob Seger, the Civil War
Jackie Blue.
Yes.
Yeah,
oh God, I love that stuff.
Do you remember the first time you heard Tracy's record?
Oh gosh, I remember the first time I heard him sing it.
Yeah.
His management called me up. Of course, they're all excited and everything that I let them have the song. I remember Tony called me, how I found out when the song was going to get recorded, Tracy had already recorded that whole album. It was finished, and it didn't have a hit on it. So Tony Brown, after I come in and told him my Weeds' I Might Have Made It, he knew it was a hit too. So Tony took control of it and said, we're going to take this album. This is going to be the single. We're going to do everything around this song. And so Tony calls me, I remember it was December the 23rd. And he said, Marty, we're going to record that I'm from the country. I said, man, it's Christmas time, Tony. He said, yeah, well, I'm holding an emergency session. We're going to save this record. He told me that. And he said, it'll be out probably February sometime. He said, will that be all right? I said, go right ahead and cut it. Have at it. And I didn't know at the time. He said, by the way, he said, I need that demo.
Wow.
Yeah, so I said, well, I'll give it to you. He said, well, I've got to find that thing because back then it was on cassette tapes. Right. And so he called me back and said that, I forget who his secretary was at the time, that they'd found the tape and they recorded it and had the record that Tracy did had Owen Hale on the drums. I know that. The same guy that played the fiddle on the record played the fiddle on the dent. Glenn. Oh,
well, 18 players.
I can't think of his name, but it was and I remember the first time I heard it was his management called me and we was down at the Wild Horse Saloon. I was out in the middle of the crowd, and Tracy, he sang it, and the crowd went nuts.
Crazy.
They went nuts, and it was a good time. Of course, we're high-fiving Mike Telefaro and Joe. Joe Carter. Yeah, that was his band. We're high-fiving, and it was a really, really great time. And that song it literally changed my life. I went back to Kentucky and built a house, and that song's done everything for me.
Well, you're one of my favorite people.
Thank you, Bob.
You're a man with a good heart and a good moral center, and you deserve that success.
Thank you.
And it should have been Kentucky. Just saying. But one last question. First of all, is there anything you wanted to say about it I didn't ask you?
I want to say one thing about that song. I remember after it come out and become a big hit. Well, but the publishing company, Bug, called me and said, man, you think you could write a commercial around that? I'm like, well, I don't know. They said, Chevy's looking for a good commercial. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. And so I hung up the phone and thought to myself, I'm like, dang, I said, Bob Seger, like a rock. He makes $3 million a year off Like a Rock. Yeah. That's $1 million a word. So I thought, I'm from the country and I like it that way. That's $9 million.
$9 million.
So I wrote the commercial and I called him back about 5 minutes later. I wrote the commercial, and when this hits, I'm going to the Bahamas with my wife, and he goes, well, all day long we work in the field. I bring it on home to a home-cooked meal. Love her like Sunday, she treats me like Saturday night. All right. Yeah, she knows how to work and she knows how to play. I'm from the country and I love my Chevrolet. She hauls my tools and she hauls my hay. I'm from the country and I love my Chevrolet.
Cha-ching.
That's right.
Last question.
Yes, sir.
Are you surprised? I think the song's more popular now than when it came out. It has just lasted and lasted.
Yes. Well, I'm getting ready to get my $5 Millionaire Award.
Wow.
I'm
not surprised.
May the 16th, I get my $5. That means it's been songwriter terms. It's been played 5 million times.
5 million times.
And David Preston's going to present it to me during my album party. I've got it because I've signed a new record deal with Plowboy Records.
Yeah.
And the title of that album is American Highway.
Well, you've got a website. Let's promote that before we get out of here.
Well, I need to, because like I said, it's got a lot of great songs. I wrote all the songs on it. The single is Umbrella Lovers, and you can download it right now. It's amazing. You don't even have to
MartyBrown.com?
You go to MartyBrownMusic.com.
MartyBrownMusic.com.
Or if you can I'm having to learn all these new terms and stuff, Bart.
Well, we'll figure
Spotify,
social
all of
media,
and then of course you can download the album American Highway.
Well, I can't wait to get it. You're one of my favorites.
Bart, thank you for having me.
I'm really.
They picked a good guy to do this job.
What an episode, man. I'm from the country, and I like it that way. The great Marty Brown. That's the story behind the song this week for the Tennessean and Tennessean.com.